popular comics that are absolute rubbish that keep selling and you can't understand why?
Oh, that's a good question. Often it's a case of a character getting very popular, and then the publishers will continue to make more and more spin-off series from this character. So you'll have one character, and then there'll be a series with 2 or 3 other versions of him, or and it can be a bit too much. The spin-offs, they're really not really that great, and you've already got one character, or you say you got like Wolverine, but then you got Wolverine in the X-Men, you got Wolverine in Uncanny X-Force, you got him all over the place. And really,
So when they start cloning them off.
And I mean, they tend to have sort of like a main series that follows the continuity a bit more. And these spin-off series don't really matter at all, and then you have like a big crossover event. You can get what Spider-Man's version of the event or Fantastic Four's version of the event, and you don't really, the stories, you don't really need to read them unless you're really passionate about those characters. There's a lot of time I'm like, I don't really need to read that.
Say you run a comic book kingdom, a comic book empire, and somebody says to you, "Oh, let's reset every single comic we have." Yeah. What's your answer? Do you say yes, or do you say no? We owe too much to the fans. Let's not do that.
Comics are always circular anyway. I mean, sometimes when they change the look of a character, a rehash from number one, it's just they're trying out a new look. Comics always sort of reflect society, I think. In the 70s, you had blaxploitation movies and kung fu movies and stuff like that. And the characters that came out, created then, were sort of reflected that time, like Luke Cage or Shang-Chi or something like that. And I think it needs to be done every now and then. I think you do need to go back and reset things sometimes. Marvel have been doing it for years with their Ultimate line and just changing things up all the time. DC recently have done it with all 52 titles, and I think a couple of months prior to it happening, or when people heard about it, they were very upset. Like, a lot of people were really upset. They were a bit afraid that they were going to change the continuity and change things that they're used to. But it wasn't really necessarily that. It's sometimes it definitely changes them for the better. Comics are in every genre, and there's always going to be great stuff from indie artists and real different styles and things like that. And I think you can always look out for stuff that's related to movies and TV and stuff like that. I think people tend to stick to the superhero stuff maybe a bit
too much. What do you like now?
This one series I'm loving is Walking Dead. A lot of people probably already know this one. It's been around for a while. This is just a great series. I mean, there's a TV show out and things like that, but it's like nobody really knows about it, and it's a brilliant book. But sometimes people got to look outside of the box sometimes and give things a chance, because in places like the States, they can be really conservative about comics. Like there's a ton of stuff, but things are cancelled all the time. Often with the superhero stuff, it's the short mini-series that are phenomenal, and then they cancel them straight away because people are a bit sketchy in the States if it's not their traditional kind of characters and stories and things like that.
Okay. Mark Millar, goof or genius?
It's a very fine line between the two. I think he is a bit of a goof. I mean, he's written some brilliant stuff. I mean, I love Wanted. I really love Kick-Ass and the Ultimate series he's done. He seems to be the master of that shock twist, or that brilliant moment where he is an excellent writer, but there can be a real goofy side of things. It's almost like he's testing the reader to see if you really get it or not. Sometimes I feel like I get a bit worried things are lost on people when it comes to his stuff. Like it can be very I don't know, real. He's got a real crass side to him and things like that. He's even done one called Superior and things like that, and that's his sort of modern day Superman story. So really, I'd go for that sort of stuff.
Worst sci-fi movie that people like, and you go, why the hell, how the hell, you embarrass me because you like that?
Well, I was born in the 80s, raised up on things like Transformers. So you get Michael Bay, who's a bloke that's incredibly proud that his Transformers movies, literally the robots to scale transform, and he seems really concerned with the effects rather than the film itself. I'm really disappointed with a lot of those films. I mean, they're fantastic action, and it's not even the actors are pretty good in it, except for maybe Megan Fox. But really, if the guy had maybe stuck to some traditional things, just made the characters the color schemes that they were, that would please so many Transformers fans. If you just made Ironhide a red van, purely like that's Ironhide. You know, they had character and things like that. You know, in the old stuff, but these modern movies are just crash bang crazy stuff. So yeah,
right. A girl is coming over to your house, and you have to show her a sci-fi movie. What are you going to show her?
Ooh. The more recent Doctor Who, I think, you know, it's not so much a film, but the recent series, I think not a lot of people really liking. But I watched Doctor Who back in the Tom Baker days, the 80s, 70s stuff. I jumped into sort of Matt Smith, who's more whimsical, and you know, he's more like a Willy Wonka type character, you know, that just seems to solve everything. And it's brilliant. The shows we've got some guests over here from that season, and it's brilliantly acted. It's really good. I'd be proud to show anybody those ones. I think.
Cool.